Today we're going to use the vocabulary previously learned in the last video to connect reason in algebra and geometry. So basically what we're going to be doing in this lesson is justifying each step using one of the previous definitions or theorems that we've learned. And by justifying each step, that means you are explaining each step. So we're going to start with the most basic type of justifying problem. So we're looking at just a simple equation. For number 1, we're looking to solve 5x minus 12 is equal to 32 plus x. And we're looking to prove or solve for x. I should have included that in the directions, but that is essentially all you could do with a problem like this. So we are solving for x. All right, and what we need to do is for every single step, we need to justify using one of those previous properties. So you should have that definitions, theorems, properties of equality sheet out in front of you, or else you could call it your vocab sheet. Okay, so the first thing that we do when we solve for x, or the first thing that I would do when I am solving for x, is I would look at this and I would start to add 12 to both sides. So adding 12 to both sides gives us this right here, which is 5x is equal to 44 plus x. So in order to get to this step, what we used right there was called the addition property of equality. Okay, so to get to this step, you write your justification on that line. The next thing I would do for solving is I would subtract x from both sides. That gives us this solution, 4x is equal to 44. So to get to this step, what we did was we subtracted x, or we used the subtraction property. And for the last step, I would divide both sides by 4, giving us x is equal to 11. And in order to get x equals 11, we divided both sides by 4, or we used the division property of equality. Next, we're going to add a previous definition we learned about, which was the segment addition postulate. So we learned about this back in Unit 1. And the segment addition postulate says if you're adding segments together, they are equal to the total segment length. So using this example that I have done out for you, it says if 3 points, J, K, and L, are collinear, and K is between J and L, then JK plus KL is equal to JL. And you can see over here that I already solved this problem. So what I did was I wrote out that we are adding JK plus KL is equal to JL. Then I substituted in all of my values. I simplified and I solved. We're going to follow the same process. Now we're going to justify each step using a definition, postulate, theorem, or property of equality, which again is on your vocab sheet. Here we have a line segment AC. We are told that AC is equal to 21. We're told that AB is equal to 15 minus x, which is this segment here. And we're told that BC is equal to 4 plus 2x, which is this segment here. So we have AB plus BC is equal to AC. And to start the justification process here, we're just going to list that this is in fact called the segment addition postulate. it is the definition we just went over right there. And now we're going to solve just like we did for the previous problem. We are going to substitute our values in. When we substitute our values in, AB is 15 minus x. That's what I have highlighted in orange. We have BC, which is 4 plus 2x. And we are told that the total segment length is 21. So at this point, all I did was take my segment addition postulate and I substituted in the given values. So this is called the substitution property of equality. Be careful abbreviating substitution, because if you abbreviate it as SUB, that could represent subtraction or substitution, so you probably want to write out that entire word. Okay, for the next step, all I can do in this step is simplify my common terms. So I can add 15 and 4. I can also add negative x and 2x. This is going to give me 19 plus x is equal to 21. And check out how we just wrote simplify. So I don't mind if you write simplify or if you change it and you write combine like terms, but just explain what you're doing here. And this is on your vocab sheet. And for the last and final step, to solve for x, we are going to subtract 19 from both sides. And subtracting 19 from both sides gives us the answer of x equals 2. To get to this step, what we did here was we used the subtraction property of equality. Okay, again, notice that substitution and subtraction would have the same abbreviation, so be careful on that. Make sure you write out the full word so we know what you're doing. Next, we're going to add the angle addition postulate, so another definition to look at. And the angle addition postulate says that if point F is on the interior of an angle, so I'm using this specific example over here, if point F is on the interior of CDE, then the measure of EDF plus the measure of CDF is equal to the total measure of CDF. And you can see that's what I did right here. From there, I substituted in the given values. Then I solved for x. In the next example, we're going to be doing the same thing as this, but we are going to be justifying each step. Okay, so it's given to us that the measure of KLM is 2x plus 40. That's this angle here. It is given to us that the measure of angle NLM is 4x. That would be this angle here. And it's also given to us that our total angle measure of KLN is 160 degrees. We are asked to solve for x. So for this justification process, I didn't type anything out for you because we're going to do this one from scratch. So we're going to write down all of the work and we're going to justify each step from the very beginning without any sort of assistance that's already typed. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to write out our angle addition postulate using the correct angle measures. So I'm going to say that the measure of angle KLM, that's this angle, plus the measure of angle NLM, that's this angle, is equal to this total angle measure, which is the measure of angle KLN. And for justification purposes, I'm going to say that this is the angle addition postulate. For the next step, I'm going to take all of my values and I'm going to substitute them into the angle addition postulate. I'm going to substitute in 2x plus 40 for KLM. I'm going to substitute 4x for NLM, and I am going to substitute in 160 for KLN. And our justification here is the substitution property of equality. For the next step, I am going to combine my like terms, or you could say I'm going to simplify. My like terms are going to be 2x and 4x. In this example, that is it. So 6x plus 40 is equal to 160. And again, all I did was simplify or like terms, whichever you choose to write. Next, I am going to subtract 40 from both sides. Subtracting 40 from both sides gives me 6x is equal to 120. And this step, I subtracted 40, so to get to that answer, I used the subtraction property of equality. And for the last step, I'm going to divide both sides by 6. And dividing both sides by 6 is going to give me the answer of x equals 20. And in order to arrive at this answer of x equals 20, I had used the division property of equality. Okay, so make sure when you write out your justification, you're writing out the full justification. Please don't write just addition or subtraction. You need to write the entire justification out. So make sure you follow your vocab sheet precisely and you write it exactly how you see it on that sheet. I would suggest that everyone presses pause on their video at this point and you complete the on your own by yourself. This on your own, I did start it for you. I actually solved it, so all you have to do is fill in the justification. I did complete this, so after you try it by yourself, come back to the video and you will see my solution written out for you. Please let me know if you have any questions and have a great day.